Today, Friday, the 30th of August 2024, we have some hand-picked match predictions to share with you, which will be backed up by some stats and analytics to help you make your picks in this list to boost your winning by a greater percent. And to those of you who want to have access to even more games, then of course you want to make sure to join the Level 2 Pro package plan and start to have access to all our hand-picked match prediction, including matches for top 10 game predictions over 1.5 and 2.5 goals, as well as straight win match prediction event to take your winning to the next level. And to those of you who want to join, the link is below this video. You can click on it to navigate and join to become a member of the Level 2 Pro plan and start to have access to all our game predictions to take your win to the next level. So without wasting time, I will begin with the first event of our today's list. Looking at the first event here, we have Germany, that is in the Bundesliga women, a match between Potsdam women against Bayern Munich women. First, I'll share with you the performance of the home team based on recent events. You're going to see that they have recently had game in the club friendly and also in the second Bundesliga. And their performance in the second Bundesliga shows at least 1 or 2 goals per every match. And looking at that of its opponent, Bayern Munich women, they have had games, especially recently in the Super Cup and also in the club friendly as well. And their performance in the club friendly is very, very great. You can see against Juventus, a draw, against Slava Prague 7-0, Ingolstadt 3-0, and also St. Gallen 5-2. And looking now at the performance based on the home team of the home, you're going to see that it shows that at least per game they have 1 or 2 goals per every match, and the performance here is good. Looking at that of its opponent, based on the way they have a very great performance, and they have mostly had events in the Bundesliga women itself, and you can see very great performance 4-1, 2-1, 5-1, 4-0, and 2-1. Now, looking at this tournament, this is just the first round of this tournament, which is just starting in this Bundesliga women. Bayern Munich is placed in the first position and the opponent in the fourth position. And looking at everything in order, we are looking at 2 major picks here in full time. Looking at these particular events, the away team, Bayern Munich women, has mostly had game in the club friendly and also in the Bundesliga itself. And comparing to that of the home team, which is its opponent, they have mostly had events in the second Bundesliga. And also looking at the matches being played by Bayern Munich women, they have played with very strong teams such as St. Gallen, Wolfsburg, Juventus, as compared to that of the home team, which the matches they have played against are not as strong team as compared to that of Bayern Munich. Also looking at the fact that this particular event is just starting and this is the first round of this tournament, of course, Bayern Munich especially want to make sure that it impress to do it every possible best to maintain its position on the league table since this tournament is just starting. As a result, we are looking at high performance of Bayern Munich women in this match. So want to look at the possibility of Bayern Munich women to lead as well as the possibility of goals here, 1.5 or 2.5 goal for this event in full time. Looking at the next, we are looking at Turkey in the Super League, a match between Fenerbahce against Antalyaspor. In this event, first, the performance of the home team, as you can see, based on recent events, showed that they have mostly had game in the Super League and also in the Champions League, as you can see here. And their performance has been very great. Comparing to that of its opponent, which you can see most of its events is only in the Super League of itself, and their performance is very average. Now, of course, looking at the performance of the home team, Fenerbahce at home, you're going to see that the performance of the home team is really great, and they have mostly had events based on home in the club friendly and also in the Champions League. But comparing to that of the opponent based on the away, you're going to see that the performance is very poor, and all of its events have been had in the Super League. But the performance here is poor here based on recent events and also average on the following games they have had. And looking at everything, this is the fourth tournament. That is the fourth round of this particular tournament. And looking at the stand position, you're going to see that the home team, Fenerbahce, based on form, shows that they have a great form. And out of 3 events, they have played 2 wins, 8 goals scored, and 2 conceded. But comparing to that of its opponent based on form, you're going to see that the form is not as great as compared to Fenerbahce. Out of 3 events, they have had no win yet, 4 goals scored, and 6 goals conceded. And everything in order, we are looking at 2 or 3 major picks here in full time. Looking at this particular tournament, the home team Fenerbahce has mostly had events, especially in the club friendly and also in the Champions League. And the performance result of these, based on its performance, has been great. Now, of course, this is just the 4th round of this particular tournament. And of course, Fenerbahce have shown a great form, especially at home. Looking at that of its opponent, the performance is not as great as compared to Fenerbahce. And also looking at the past event head-to-head, which these two teams met on March, you're going to see that Fenerbahce still played at home, and this time they had a draw against the opponent 2-2. But the ball possession and shoot on target for Fenerbahce was greater than that of its opponent. This time they are still coming to meet, and looking at this, Fenerbahce will still want to take that home advantage. And this time we want to look at Fenerbahce to lead in full time, as well as the possibility of at least 1.5 goals in full time or 2 goals over. Looking at the next here, we are looking at Australia in the NPL Tasmania, a match between Launceston against Launceston United. First, the performance of Launceston here shows that per every game, they try to score at least 1 or 2 goals per every match, as you can see here. Comparing that of its opponent, as you can see, they also perform in terms of scoring, and of course, they do also concede a lot of goals. Looking now at the past, that is the performance of the home team based on home, you're going to see that, especially when they play at home, they always have that probability to have at least 1 goal or more. Comparing to that of its opponent, they concede too much based on the way performance. Up to 8 goals conceded, 4 goals conceded, 6 goals conceded, and 4. Very conceding team. And now, looking at the stands of these, you're going to see that based on form, these two teams have been placed in the 4th position and 7th position. And looking at Launceston, having played 5 events, they have had 2 wins and 8 goals scored, 11 conceded. That of its opponent proved to be a very high conceding team. Out of 5 events played, they have conceded up to 22 goals, and this is going to give advantage, especially for Launceston, to score even more goals in this event. As a result, we look at 2 to 3 match predictions in this event in full time. Since the away team shows a very high performance in terms of conceding goals, that is a very high conceding team as compared to that of the home, which proved to be a better team at home and try to score at least 1 or 2 or more goals, especially at home in every event. Then looking at the fact that its opponent being so conceding, we want to look at the possibility of goals. So looking at 1.5 goal in full time or the possibility of 2 goals over for this event is our 2 major picks. Looking here at the next, we are looking at Ireland in the first division, a match between Cork City against Longford. For this event, the performance of Cork City have shown that they are good and average, as you can see here. 2-0, draw here 1-1, 0-0, 1-0, and of course 1-0. Comparing to that of its opponent, they proved to be a very high conceding team. 2, 4, 1, 2, and 6. Very, very conceding. And now, of course, looking at the performance of the home team, Cork City at home, they prove to be better, especially when they are at home, comparing to that of its opponent that concede as much as they can whenever they are at away. Now, looking at the stands based on these two, we're going to see that the position of Cork here says that they are the best out of this, the first on the league table, and having played based on form, I'll look at the form here. They are in the 2nd position. Having played 5 events, they have had 3 wins, 5 goals scored, and 1 concede. That is at least 1 goal per every match. Comparing to that of its opponent, that shows to concede too much of goals. For every match, they try to concede at least 2 goals or more. And looking at everything in place, we are looking at 2 to 3 major picks here in full time. Since the away team proved to concede at least 1 or 2 goals per every match, and the defense is not as that strong, then of course, the fact that the home team, Cork City, tried to perform better at home based on home events, we want to look at the possibility of Cork City to take that advantage of the high conceding power of its opponent to see how they can lead this match in full time. Also, looking at the last head-to-head event, which these two teams met in the month of June, Cork City still played at home and its opponent away, and Cork City lead by 2-0. And the performance of Cork City was really great, leading with high ball possession and also more shots on target comparing to that of its opponent. This time, they still have a better form and they want to take the advantage of the conceding power of its opponent. Therefore, want to look at still the possibility of Cork to lead or at least double chance for Cork City in this event in full time. Looking at the next here, we are looking at Northern Ireland Premiership, a match between Portadown against Linfield. The performance here of the home team, you're going to see that per every event, they try to score at least 1 or 2 goals per every event. And looking at that of the opponent as well, they also are very good based on the recent performance they have had. You can see 5-3-3-2 and 9 goals being scored. Looking at the performance of the away team, Linfield, they are very good at away based on recent events they have had. Comparing to that of Portadown, they also shows that they concede and they do try to score at least a goal per event, as you can see here. And now, of course, looking at the stands, Linfield stands in the better place on the league table as compared to that of its opponent. And now, looking at the form of Linfield, you're going to see that they are the best here, having played 4 events. They have had 4 wins, 13 goals has been scored and 2 conceded, comparing to that of its opponent, which have not yet had any win yet, and 5 goals conceded for 3 matches being played. And everything in place, we are looking at 2 to 3 major picks here in full time. Since Linfield have a very great performance in terms of recent game they have had, comparing to that of its opponent, which shows to be not that very strong in defense and not very good in offense, then of course we want to look at Linfield to take that advantage to lead this event in full time. Also, looking at the last head-to-head event in the month of March, which Linfield played at home, it lead by 3-1 against Portadown. This time, Linfield is going away and still having the high probability chance of scoring in terms of the fact that they are high in terms of offense and the home team is not as good based on defense. Then, of course, we want to look at Linfield to try to lead this match in full time, as well as the possibility of at least 1.5 goal in this event in full time. Looking here at the next pick, we'll look at Germany in the Regional Liga North, a match between Emden against St. Pauli. For this event, I will share with you the performance of Emden, which is the home team. That shows that they are good and they try to score at least more than 1 to 2 goals per every event. Looking at that of its opponent, the shows will prove to be a more conceding team. As you can see, they concede too much, 5-1-3. And looking at the recent games they have just had based on home performance of Emden, they shows that they are great based on recent event. Comparing to that of St. Pauli at the way they do concede as much as they can. Now, looking at the fact that this is the 7th round of this particular tournament, based on stand, Emden sits on the better position and in the second year, and based on form, they still maintain a good position on the form table, being the second here, having played 5 events, 4 wins, 13 goals scored and 3 conceded. But that of its opponent shows that they are not as good as that of Emden. For 4 events played, they have not yet had a win, and they have conceded up to 10 goals, which is an average goal score rate of above 2. And looking at the fact that Emden is coming home, we look at 2 to 3 major picks here in full time. Since Emden proved to be a better team in terms of form, and looking at the fact that their offensive rate, especially at home, is better as comparing to that of its opponent that proved to be a high conceding team, especially when playing at away, we want to look at Emden to either lead this match or the possibility of draw, no bet for Emden. That is a double chance as well for Emden. And of course, we want to also look at the possibility of at least 1 or 2 goal in this event in full time. And to those of you who want to access even more games, then of course you want to make sure that you become a member of the Level 2 Pro plan and start to have access to all our handpicked events to take your winning to the next level. To those of you who want to join, the link is below this video description. You just want to click on it, navigate and join to become a member of the Level 2 Pro plan and start to have access to all our handpicked match predictions and also members only post and members only video, which you have your match predictions daily and as well as before time, 1, 2 to 3 days ahead of time for you to take advantage of it and take your winning to the next level. Good luck and see you again in the next upload, and bye-bye for now.